Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the brain and its parts. Brain is located inside a bony covering that is called the cranium, or you can say cranium box, and commonly it is known as skull. And we talk about the size and the weight. In proportion to the size of the body, the human brain is the largest among all the animals. That means it weighs about 1.5 kg and constitutes about the 2% of the total body weight. That is huge. Human brain is constitute the 2% of the body weight average. And if we talk about the volume, it is of 1300 to 1400 centimeter cube, and it's huge. Among all the animals, the proportion of the weight and volume of the brain is largest among all the animals in human. If we talk about the width and the length, so in an average, the brain length is about 167 millimeter and width is 140 millimeter. Protection, if we talk about, so brain is a delicate structure, and every delicate structure in our body is well protected. Like the heart is protected by rib cage and bag-like structure or thin membrane-like structure that is called the pericardium. Similarly, brain is also protected by the bones of the skull and by the covering of the three thin membranes that is called the meninges. Three thin membrane that is called the meninges. And as already told you that the brain is consist of three parts, cerebrum, mainly three parts. It is consist of more than three parts, but the major component of the brain, or the for parts of the brain, is cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. So today we will study about the cerebrum. Students, cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it is the most complex and developed part of the human brain. If we talk about the position, see student, this is the brain and showing the major parts, in which you will see that the most of the area of the brain is covered by cerebrum, isn't it? The largest part, the largest part of the brain is the cerebrum, and it is the most advanced and developed complex structure of the human brain. It is divided into two halves, right and left, and that is called the cerebral hemisphere, and each hemisphere has two regions, outer cortex region and inner medulla region. Student, the cortex region, that is the outer part of the cerebrum, is grayish in color, containing all the cell bodies of the neuron. That is the cyton of the neuron, and they are called the grey matter. And inner medulla is mainly consist of the axons of the neuron, and they are called white matter. Student, if you talk about composition, or you can say the structure of the cerebrum, it is consist of large grooves formed by the layers of the grey matter that is called the gyri, and the small folds that is called the sulci. Gyri and sulci. Let me explain you. So the structure of the cerebrum is like this: a folded paper. Just suppose if you fold this paper many times, so see what will happen. The length of the paper, that is for this much of length, you can just fold it and make it as small as 2 centimeter. So this way the neurons are present in the cerebrum, and the upper region that is called this upper region that is called the gyri, and this lower region is called sulci. So in this way the grooves and folders are present. The grooves are present in the cerebrum, and these structure that is denoted by the lining are showing the grooves. So what I have told you that the large grooves are called gyri, and the small folds are called sulci. Gyri and sulci. Now, both the hemisphere that we talk about now, that cerebral hemisphere is right and left, means hard halves. The cerebrum is consist of right and left half, that is called the cerebral hemisphere. Now, both these halves, that is the cerebral hemisphere, right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere, is connected each other by a sheet of fibers that is called the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum, and this is an important term, try to remember it. That is an important term, corpus callosum. And the ventricles, you have heard in the heart. Similarly, the interior of the cerebrum has three interconnected cavities. The interior of the cerebrum has three interconnected cavities, that is called the ventricles. So ventricles is also present in the brain, that is in the cerebrum. Now, if we talk about the function of the cerebrum is a seat of intelligence, consciousness and willpower. It controls all the voluntary action, student. It controls all the voluntary action, means whatever we do with our, means what, control, like walking, running, watching, smell, taste, then sitting, means what, everything, every muscle that is voluntary, that is in our control, is controlled by the cerebrum. So this much for today, student, and next day we will study about the cerebellum and medulla oblongata. And if you have any question regarding today's topic or this topic, text me. Assalamu alaikum.